Hi, welcome to the Sims Me. My name is Captain Stoppy, and today we are doing the build a house, but every room gets bigger. So it's like this is like an example of what I mean by that. We can tell 1 by 1, 2 by 2, 3 by 3, and 4 by 4. So for the first room I want to do, which is the 1 by 1 room, is I want to do a laundry room. And so let's start by grabbing laundry day pack and making sure I have the things I need for the laundry room. So I'll be grabbing the washer and dryer set and then adding some shelves to it, which will be a lot more than I usually do. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4. If it was a shorter wall length, I would have done 2 shelves. But one major things I usually like to do is add clutter to my build, so we know, just to make the house feel more lively. And I like to use different cheese to help me make items in the places I want to. So I use Alt to place it not in the correct space, and having it I'm using the bottom part of it just so I can raise it up to the right spot. Then I'm going to grab some more things that are related to the laundry room, but also some storage, because I did not make a room for just storage. But yeah, let's grab the boxes. I believe I grabbed one more box. And just grab clutter from this area. Then I changed the color of the towels so it doesn't have to be all white. That bucket's too big, so I did not go for it. So I used another box from Dream Home Decor. Finding more clutter to put in this area. Oh, I just realized I might want to add some more things instead of putting the washer and dryer back, so I changed it. Gonna grab some tissues because everyone needs tissues. And just storage for it. I wish there's like not with a tissue out, so I can actually add like stacks of them right there. Then I'm gonna add a plant and try and get the same height. You can just directly place it on the shelf and then move it around with the hack that I used of not really a hack, but it's like something you can do to place things easier. I'm now grabbing a few toilet paper. I don't know how to write it, so I found it through just going to the bathroom area. Just placing toilet paper as storage up there, which kind of makes sense because of what the storage is for. Just random things. And there we go. That is what I put in there. Then I'm going to add the columns again, which, because this is a more ranch-like feeling, even though it's not really a ranch house. So yeah, that is just going to add wallpaper, using the darker tone for a lighter area, and we're going to add a floor. Now on to the next room. Our next room is the 2x2, which is going to be the bathroom. Unlike most of these builds, which is I kind of speed build warped it, and this was a good length of video, so I'm gonna go find wallpaper first, which I use tile most of the time, and I try and fit a good type of tile for the room. And just place it in. I'm going to use tile for some of it, but for the shower I'm going to use stone. which I used from not 4Run, but one of the newer builds. I was trying to figure out where I want to place the door. I went for this color of faucet because it has somewhat of a matching tone with with the sink I wanted to use, which is from Country Living. Just checking to see if it looks good in that spot. Talked about it here how I wanted to match the tone. But yeah, now we're gonna find a toilet to fit it in that corner. Not all these toilets worked because they're either too bulky or too for someone to actually go in between the sink and toilet. I just didn't want to use a big toilet so people couldn't get through. Now let's find a mirror. Which, that mirror somewhat worked with the vibe of the bathroom. And now let's just add some clutter. I had a hard time trying to put this light switch in here. Because it didn't place well. Oop. I didn't know how to do it. I think I gave up and not actually placed it. Or I placed it really high. But yeah. I'm gonna save here because I don't want to lose my progress. Do I remember to actually put tile in this room? Don't remember because this is a voiceover. Oh, that's what I remembered, to put it soap in the room. Now I remembered putting this flooring in. Gonna use that for the floor and then Spa Day because the walls are also from Spa Day. But yeah, that was the bathroom. Next room. For the next room, I decided to do an entryway. So I grabbed ranch and the country doors so we could have easy way to get into the living room and out of the house. I do have plans for that stairwell. I just added it so I just know for spacing wise for the next room. So first of all, we're going to grab wallpaper, which I'm also using from Country, the ranch build. Oh, yes, I did mess up. So I'm still doing this. A good tip for this is to use Shift to get the whole room, all the walls. Same goes for flooring, but with the flooring tile. But you can use anything to use to use for this room. For the entryway, a lot of people do it differently, but this is how I usually like to do it. Just adding some shelves to have for storage to put clothes, even though I put clothes on here, which a lot of people do it differently, but those 4 items you can use from base game to use for the entryway. So I'm going to use stuff from Dreamhorn Decor to add to this build to make it look like someone lives there. People can do it differently. But yeah. So the next part of this build I'm going to grab from Everyday Clutter, basement, so I can have some clutter for this room. So these are some of the items I usually use for this build. We are adding it, so, and also I'm changing the color because it just to make it more darker, but also lighter in the room. So the next item I'm going to find is this box. You can size down items with using the right bracket key, and then you can use the 9 key to raise them up if this item cannot attach to shelves and other things. This box is a little bit too big, so I'm going to size it down with the right key, then use the 9 key to raise it up. And then, like how I talked about earlier, you can use the to hold the Alt key / holding underneath the shelf to move it up and place it. I was just checking to see which one looked better with the sizing. But everyone does it differently. I use that box for storage. Then I'm going to switch to the other side and take away the 2 kits I had pulled up so I can grab a table to put things on there, kind of like how some entryways have tables to like put your keys, put your wallet, to put your phone. Then I'm going to put some plants in there to just lighten up the room with more plants and clutter. The plants are a great way for you to add stuff to rooms. That's what I like doing. Some other people like doing it that way. Then I'm going to use this phone from Basement Clutter to add it to it, just like I talked about earlier about using the Alt key and having your mouse underneath the table, not like your actual table, to put stuff on there. We're going to look for more clutter. If you can't find any more clutter, it's okay. Just don't overload it with clutter. Yes, I know that's a safety hazard, but it looks cute up there. Now we're going to add something to just fit in that spot in that corner. Just to have something in that corner. I usually like using this plant for it, but I don't want to use that plant for this entryway. Oh, that's a good plant. I'm just looking around right now, just seeing. Oh, does this plant work? I didn't realize at the time I did not place it correctly, which is okay. Then I'm going to add some shoes, because people do have shoe racks, but it just depends. But yeah, we're going to add a window to add more light into the room. But that's where I put it. We're going to add a plant in the other corner. Or a rug. I think I'm adding a rug here. Which is okay. But yeah, I'm trying to find it. Oh, there's the rug I want to use. And I'm going to size it down just so it can fit into the room. It's a cute rug. I like the swatches on it. Also, who doesn't love rabbits and foxes? But we're gonna go on to our next room after I fix that plant in that corner. But the next room is our 4x4. But that is our entryway. Now on to our room upstairs, which is our 4x4, which is I'm gonna have as a hallway to the bathroom and the master bedroom. Or primary room. I think someone talked to me in my Twitch chat about how people call it primary bedroom instead of master bedroom. I'm so used to it, calling it master bedroom. But I'm going to add some windows. Just to have light and also fix where that window is. But yes. We're going to use the same wallpaper and flooring from our entryway just to add consistency to our build. We're going to add a railing to match the vibes. Going to use it from Horse Ranch, because why not? So we are going to add some plants, or we're going to add a table, just so we have like something in that corner. Because I don't want to block the bathroom door or the master bedroom. So I'm just currently looking through which table would fit well in that corner and have a lighter shade than the darker tones of the room. And we're going to add some plants because plants are a good way to add to builds. I love adding plants and also clutter. I'm going to use that table just so I have like the right height for all the items that are going to be on that table, because most of these items will fit to this table because they are clutter items that can be put on tables, which is pretty easy. I think the clutter option of this is like one of the most important things. We're adding a tissue box because who doesn't need a tissue? Now we are gonna add some more clutter, either a plant or a some sort of small item. Oh, books is a good idea. Who doesn't love books? I'm a reader myself. I'm doubting myself with that type of table that I should be using and what else I should be adding to this build that would make sense in this spot. Bonsai, I already have a plant there. Finding more clutter. Just trying. Oh, that's much too big. How about I just size down this item? Like, I think this is a one item on in this build, this room. I don't know why I keep even calling it a build. It is a build entirely, but I'm doubting myself with that table, so I'm trying to find a different type of table. Either it's too small or too big, or it just does not seem right for the build. I think I ended up with using this item for the build. Just a different swatch. Then we're going to add some paintings and decor to the walls. Because we need something in that corner. Probably a painting. And I realized I was on the wrong option for paintings. Just want to place it correctly, so that's what I did. Oh, it's me thinking that would be we're doing another rug for this area, which I decided to go on that because rugs are important. Now on to the next room, which is our 5x5, which is ending up to be the kids' bedroom. So I decided to go with a color theme for this room, which is going to be blue. Why blue? Because blue is one of my favorite colors, and colors are not gender specific. I've always said that to myself, because honestly, for myself, I love the color red. Red is my favorite color. Like any shade of red. To be exactly, my favorite shade of color of red is maroon, which is also burgundy. I just tried my best trying to find a correct color for the room. which I finally found it, which is good. And we're gonna have a door. I don't know why I keep on choosing this door for doors. It seems easy to use it. Now I'm looking for color shade of blue. And I'm looking at the woods. I'm looking at the color palettes. Just seeing, ooh, should we do an accent wall? I do have my own accent wall in my room. So that's why I'm looking at accent walls. That was too colory. I don't know why I use that as a it's not too colory, it's just a lot of blocks. I like that color shade of blue. Ooh, yeah, that wall color looks good. I'm gonna use these windows from Horse Ranch again. I am going to missay a lot of different pack names, and I'm sorry. And I'm also sorry that this is a long video, but I hope you are enjoying this video at this point. I think because I went up to the number, I went to 8x8 in the end. That's why this is such a long video, and also it took me a long time to record, because, yes. We go 8x8. I love the color matching of this room. I know I leave a lot of blank spaces, like, in the build, but it's, like, you don't need to fill up every single square in a house or a build for The Sims 4. But I'm going to add some lights, pretty twinkly lights. I wish I had that in my own house. Like, I love starlights and other lights. But we had that. We're going to use that because what I want for the theme for this room is this kid is an artist. Like, they're a craft person. They love to crochet. They have an extra pillow. I love having extra pillows in my room. And then we're gonna have, like, some toys that she has made. Like a penguin. I love penguins. She also has a turtle. Or an octopus. I can't remember which one. Oh, I chose an octopus, which is a good option, no matter what. And we're gonna move it to the wall, because I'm like, I don't need that much space for a bed. But yeah. Dude, finding more clutter. If you cannot tell, I'm a cluttered. So I do change what type of bed I do have in this spot in the room, because it just did not make sense for, like, a teenager just to have a plain old bed. So I changed the bed. I fixed where the penguin was. And do I fix where the light and pillow is? No, I don't at this point. But yeah. But this room took me a little bit of a while to fix it and just add more things. Because this person is a crafty person. The daughter is of these two parents. I never figured out what type of job they have. But yes. So I changed where the desk was and switched it over to, so I can have a crafting spot on the other side, even though the window you barely get to see in the kids' room. It's okay. I'm just adding some craft toys and, like, a little spot for the person other than their desk to do the crafts. And then the wall, which I did change, which you use Alt to change just to do one side of the room, not the whole room. Now this next part, it has to go a little bit more fast due to how long it took me to just put on the paintings of the room. Because there was so much to choose, but very little options for me to actually figure out what I wanted to do. So this next part is sped up a little bit. Since we finished that little section of the wall, now we're going to add some little bit clutter to this build. This is already a long video, but we're close to finishing up this room. I am trying my best to make sure this is under an hour. I know most of my videos are an hour, but I'm trying my best to work on it. I'm still getting used to editing by myself and just getting this all done, making sure every single little part of the video is perfectly timed and still able to show you guys what I've done for this build. I might in the future do mostly voiceovers slash so I can still have the sim build sounds in it, so it's hard for me to separate both voiceover, talking about the build, and building at the same time with the audio. But here is what we have been working on so far and what we need to get done. But yeah, we're getting close to having this build almost finished. We're just wanting to add a little bit of a rug to the room, so it's comfy, and even though there's already carpet, it's still important to have a rug, because a lot of kids do have rugs in their room. I believe that I said this, kids have age of a teenager, and just, so that's why there's a lot of things, so I'm adding a lot of clutter, because for me, myself, as an adult, and during my teen years, I did have a lot of stuff in my room, and I had it all around the area. I know this thing for most people now these days, but here is me adding a little bit of clutter to the arts and crafts part of the room. I realized I needed to move this out of the way so I can actually add that and just bring it all the way up to the top. And I had to change where that book was, which is okay. You never know until you test it. And we're almost done with this part of the build, just adding the last parts and adding some things to the shelves and to the parts of the room. I added board games, I added puzzles, just added a few things that seem to be needed for this room. I just wanted to make sure I fit things correctly in the room. But we're going to add one last thing to that one shelf. I actually added to the top of that dresser, which is okay. But we're not going to go on to our next room before it's the penultimate room. Never mind, it's actually the kitchen. I did take a break. If you cannot tell, I do have a few mods from Taxis Maxis which includes ModGuard, ToolMod, and Better Build By, and a few other things. But let's get on to this. So, since this is a country/ranch house, I decided to use Country Living's kitchenware. I decided to go white because it looked nice with the wall, and it already the house has a lot of dark colors, so I'm like, let's change it to white. But not everything in this room is going to be white. I promise you that. So we're going to just add the end little spots in the room and just keep on adding to this lovely area. So I deleted those two parts so I can add a fridge and a stove. I think I did change to where I put the stove. Like I said, I did not stick with the white theme for everything in this room because it did not make sense. And you need a little pop of color when it comes to rooms. I want to add an island. That room is too small for me to do a full 4 island, so I only did a 2. And for, I think, a concurrent theme of me forgetting that I need to put flooring in until the last part is a bit. So since we added 2 things in that area, I decided to add to keep on continuing the counters over on that side. Now we are going to start to clutter the area, which is going to take a little bit, which is fine. So we have to move away the counters, and so we can just add a bunch of different little things to this build. Just me finding clutter, which is important to have clutter for builds because it becomes more lively if you do so. But you don't have to. I'm not saying you have to add clutter. It's just that's what I prefer and recommend, but don't want to force upon people. Because you may not have a lot of clutter or a lot of packs to clutter your builds. Another way to fill up rooms is to add different little plants, shelves. You can imagine this is this build is mostly for pretend, but it's also just for fun. So we're going to add a little bit more clutter, but you do need to free up space in your build to make sure you're able to cook on it if you want to play in the build. You need to have a free island or counter to make sure you can cook. Your Sims could cook. That's what I always try and do. I do have one, sadly not all the coffee makers you can place on other things, so you have to put it. I tried to add more things. I couldn't add the popcorn top thing. I remember to add a dishwasher, which is important if you forget to add a garbage can. I will be saving this on the lot, so yes. Now we're going to add the spices because you need spice in your things. I watch too much cooking shows to know that. Adding clutter. Love clutter. I want to find something for that spot. I don't know if I actually do find something for that spot, which is okay. You don't need to put everything out. Now we're going to go to the dining room, and I decided to go for an open doorway into the kitchen and doorway. We're going to find a table that seems right, and slash part of the packs I mostly used in this build. That's we decided to go with that color. I didn't want to, like, I still want to have space for people to walk into the kitchen, so I just moved it. Now we're going to find something to put in this spot, because that's just a blank wall. We need something there. You don't have to, but it's just like, I want to make sure I have something in that spot just to make it feel less empty. And I realized at this point, if I want to add more things, I need to change it around, or change the painting, which is okay. And we're almost done with this build. We're just gonna find something from the packs to add in this area, which I decided to go with those two things, which for some reason I like using those paintings, so that's what I chose. We're gonna find a better spot for this old wheel. Remain, that's the kitchen. Now we're going to go into our penultimate build, which is going to be the lovely primary / master bedroom where the parents live. So right now I'm deciding if I want to do both a master bedroom, a walk-in closet, and a master bathroom, which predominantly I chose to do a closet and have almost the same wallpaper, like just have matching, and because we love that window, we use it in all of our plays, so we're gonna add carpet, which we did not leave until last. Yay, we did not leave this until last. And I went with white, even though we should have added dark to the floor, because we did not want to have dark on light things, so I decided to do that. I don't know, I'm sorry. But you can, like, I just added some end tables for the father and mother, or any type of partner, because it is Pride Month. So that spot, you may be wondering, why did you do that? It's because I wanted to add a little reading spot for the mother who likes to read, and I don't know if you could actually add wallpaper. I've tried multiple times to see. So at this point, I'm like, okay, the roof is coming into the room. I need to figure out a way to have it not. And I just gave up and decided just to cover it. I think it's fine. It's fine. So how I'm going to cover it is going to go to USB bookshelves. Like I said, I made a little reading spot for the mom. And I also tried to, because I remember a hack I saw on YouTube and TikTok, that you can add a table and size it down. But here's the problem with that. I tried and it was not at the same height. So I just had to remove those two bookcases and just add a desk and a computer so it's not going to work at that spot. And I tried everything. I tried different ways. I tried, it did not work out, which is fine. I'm going to try again in another build to see if I can do something similar. I tried almost every single desk to see, but no luck, so I went with this style build for the desk area. Still have the bookcases, it's just no built-in bookcase. I had a little bit of trouble over here trying to add the bookcases and everything else. I want to add a little reading spot for the mother. I don't know why I couldn't fit anything over there. Then I want to add a little table just so she has something to put stuff on. And then I went with, how am I going to cover that spot? Oh, I know. Plants. I'm just a person with plants. I speak for the plants. And plants are a good thing. And we're going to go back to that same rug, but a different color, because why don't we have it fit the color to the room? Now I had to struggle over here trying to place bookcases down, so I think I changed what type of bookcases I have over here. And yes, I did, because it makes sense. Now we're going to add plants, because plants are fun. And we are going to finish that up by doing the closet. And we're going to change it up by adding the lights in there above the mirror. I tried to get some ideas. I tried to put a dresser just so I can see if I could do a bathroom instead of a closet, but I went with the closet instead. Just put some mirrors in. That's a good idea to have the lines don't show. I do like using the grid. I'm sorry for having it on the whole thing. But this is how I like to make my closets. I use cabinets as built-ins and to just so it seemed nicer and smaller in the room. Also a little bit more space for people to get in and out of the bedroom. And I realized, oh, there's actually a better version of that, as in there is a coat hanger. And yes, I had a little bit of issue of matching up the closet space. So I'm adding the little clothing. I meant to grab kids' clothing, I'm sorry. So I changed that. Then I'm going to add something to the floor, to put their shoes, to put a laundry. Yes, I remembered a hamper, because we do have a laundry space. And then I used this shelf to actually for the shoes, which I hadn't seen any others do. If I did, I'm sorry. Just an idea I had, and just added the shoes onto there. The shoes were a nice touch. And then I'm going to have a spot for someone to sit down and put on their shoes. So now for the final room, which is the living room. I am going to show you something that I found through TikTok and how someone used platforms to make the a two-way stairway instead of just a straight-on stairway, which I honestly liked and I wanted to try for this build. So since it was a 2-floor house, I used the discretion of the stairway and trying to figure out what we needed to do. Oop. I had a little bit of struggle trying to place the platforms, which is alright. That was a little bit too high, so we are going to grab a copy of the stairs and place it over. I want to see if I can do it one more, but I could not, which is fine. Use the same stair railing, hand railing for the build. This was most part of what I did during this time. And then I was going to add walls around. I realized afterwards this is not what they did online, but I still did it a little bit of my version of the build with adding a little bit of walls connecting around the build. I did look, and the person's idea that I got it from was from, I do have it from TikTok. This is from TikTok, and it was by Sims Remodel on TikTok. I'll put their link into the bio if anyone else wants to use it. The tip that I found, which is a nice tip, because this turned out actually a little bit really good for the build. I'm glad I found it. And I decided to use the same flooring from the upstairs to the downstairs just so I could have it match, it like transition wise, which was good because it did turn out good. I had a hard time choosing what type of wallpaper I want to use, so for some reason, I went with what I did for the entryway and the hallway, because it actually does look nice this way. And we're going to get on to the next part of the living room, which is adding the windows. I had a hard time figuring out how to place the windows down, so I went from the outside in to the inside. I don't know why I said it that way. I'm sorry. Now we're gonna add a little like table. I did it was fun deciding what I wanted to do with this wall, because it's this you're gonna put your things kind of we had it in the entry, but we can also do it in the living room. So we're gonna add this table and we're gonna clutter it, but not right now. And I realized I did not like that spot there, so I moved everything over. And I did fix it, which is a good idea for anyone who didn't know, because I wanted to do something in that spot for a couch and a TV, which I did have fun trying to do in this spot, because it's let me try something new. Let me just find it from Country Living and Horse Ranch. I'm sorry if I'm saying this wrong. So I decided, okay, let's see what we need to do for a TV. And every TV I tried just did not seem to fit right. So I'm okay, let's find a different way. Let's not do it there, because I wanted to do something else there. So I tried every TV, both spots, but that did not look nice at all. So you know what I decided to do? I decided to put a bookcase there, honestly, and have it mounted on the back of the bookcase. I know it's unrealistic. I know it's what people normally don't do, but it's something I wanted to try. I honestly hope it works, because it was fun trying to figure out how to put for this build. That was a little bit too high. I wanted to make sure, but it just did not seem right for what I wanted to do for this part of the build. So I did the one layer case. I just couldn't find it, and yeah, little TV. Gonna add a little spot over here, just for reading or anything, just for chill time, honestly. But it was a cool little spot to add. I last time I did some sort of challenge on this. I did Basecamp, but here's what I have for most packs. I don't have all packs. I do not have the kits or the Machino stuff, because I didn't like it and stuff from it, so that's why. Now we're going to clutter this table. And just try and find something. And yes, we're using the wagon again, upstairs. I like that wagon. It's a good wagon. I think it's from D-Book. I don't know for sure. But we're going to add more stuff to this build. I wanted to figure out a way to cover up that spot so we can have a little bit of correct height / wallpaper instead of just stone. Now let's get back to cluttering this build. So we're going to add some plants. Plants are good. Always add plants. Plants are nice. You know, I am not a green thumb person. Add plants and add clutter. Make sure you're having fun. Builds are supposed to be for you to have fun, not oh, you have to do this. It's just, this is my build and this is what I like to add. So the back of this, I just didn't know what to do, which I didn't know at the time. I did not do what the persons did in the TikTok. I did something differently, which is alright, because You don't want to majority like do it. Like, do it your own version. Like, I'm having fun. I know others on TikTok do, not TikTok, YouTube and TikTok do it differently, but I wanted to have fun. I did get ideas, but I did not fully copy it from others. If I did, I am sorry. If I did, I will give credit, but I watched Little Simsy and Corinne and Connie do these TikToks, and I love their builds, and they're amazing. But make sure you don't copy. I wanted to see if these shelves would work to add clutter and just add something to the back of the stairwell. We're gonna do what we did every time, everyday clutter and basement clutter, country litter, just to clear up more of the shelves and everything. Like, we're almost done with this room, I believe. And I was trying to find some blankets and baskets just to add to the build. Oh yes, I love this Fox basket, so that's why I added it. And then just added a little coffee table in front of the TV. Didn't really add much to the front of the TV, but yeah. But finally, we're going to add what's going to be on the back of this wall, which I figured out was going to be some like shelves, even though there's not going to be much on it, but it makes sense for what type of shelves. And we're almost done. We're just right now picking out the shelves and what we want to use. It's going to be like we decided to go with the country shelves. Sorry for that one. I'm very tired. I had work this morning. I just wanted to finish this build before tomorrow, because that's when I usually post my TikTok, not TikToks, my YouTube videos. But I had fun. You're supposed to have fun when building. And remember, it is okay to not know what to build and to redo everything. I honestly had to redo like the layout, how big the rooms were going to be, but I wanted to make sure I had fun. And yes, I know there's no audio in one part. It's just I didn't know what else to put it in there, but I did have fun. And remember, Sims is supposed to be fun. Not like, oh, I have to do this because someone told me I had to. This build was so fun to do. Just adding different little items and like figuring like, oh, this is what I want to do. And like what I want to do for this room. I know I did what's similar to a lot of people do for the 1x1 and 2x2, but I didn't do what, I didn't copy it all. But at this point, I am going to do the outside and the, just the outside part of this. And this is already a long video, so I decided to just not actually, go and record this next part, but I'll be showing you what I've done with the build. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you. So I have finished the outside of the house, and this is already a long video. So this is what I did. I put some trees down, added a little pond, a little backyard area. There's no way to get out back and other than going around the front. A little campfire set. But yeah, we finished the challenge of every room gets bigger. And here it is. Let me show you. So, controls.